Hi and welcome to the channel. My name is Al. Now I did a video a short while back where I showed you how to smoke an incredible brisquetta on an offset, and that video got a ton of views. But in that video I said I reckoned I could cook it on the Ninja Woodfire in a couple of hours. Well, I decided to put my money where my mouth is. Now the only place that you can get a brisquetta in the UK is from John Davison's Butchers. I'll leave a link to it down in the description, and he sells that incredibly quickly, so make sure you grab yourself as many as you can whenever they're available. So where this cut comes from is a bit of a mystery. There have been a ton of people all over the internet trying to guess where it's from, where it would be a flank, where it would be in a skirt steak. Nobody can actually work it out. Perhaps leave your thoughts down in the description, but let's get on with this brisquetta. So last night I seasoned this up. So before we season this up, I just want to look at it in a bit more detail for you. Now, like a tri-tip, the grain is going in two different directions, so you're going to need to remember that for when you slice it. So you want to cut across the grain, otherwise it will be tough. Now these don't have a huge amount of fat on them, so unless there's a large piece of fat or something weird hanging off it, I will keep trimming to a minimum. So to season this, I will use some mushroom soy sauce. Now this is a fantastic binder, adds a really nice umami flavour, and also that really dark colour helps with the finished look. Today I'm seasoning with my own rub, but this will also come out amazing with just salt, pepper and some garlic granules, or alternatively use your own favourite rub. Now I've got a decent covering on this. I'm now going to put it in the rack overnight to dry brine in the fridge, and that will give the salt time to penetrate deep in the meat, and that really enhances the flavour. So today I'm cooking at 250 to 275. So one thing I've noticed with the wood fire is that it does seem to be a little bit off in terms of the temperature reading. So I've got a thermal signal digital thermometer, and I've got the pit probe which I've put in the Ninja, and I'm just using that to double check the actual temperature it's running at. Now I will leave a link to this in the description. Really recommend that you get a digital probe. It will make a big difference if you think you're cooking at 250, but in fact you're cooking at 300. Your cook will come out very, very different than what you expect. So to show you what I mean, you can see that the wood fire is showing 95. However, the digital thermometer is telling me it's around the 262 mark. Now, because I want to go around the 250, that's fine, but it should be about 121 on the actual centigrade on the front of it, so you can see it's quite a bit off. But it's not a problem, you just have to be aware of it, so you can just kind of like work with it. So today I'm using cooking pellets, and these are three of the options that they sell. I'm using 100% oak pellets today. Now the reason I really like these is that they're really good quality. They have no fillers, no oil in them, and really low creosote levels. And when you're using something like the Ninja, that's really important. You want low creosote levels to stop the build-up of residue. So there's nothing more to do other than put this bruschetta on. And you can see I've got the smoke grill on, and that's just to allow the smoke to get all around this piece of meat. I'm going to check on it in an hour. The reason being is that the wood fire can be a little bit aggressive in terms of how it generates its heat, and some of the edges on the bruschetta are a little bit thin. So I'm just going to check back in an hour and make sure nothing's catching, that I don't have to adjust or switch anything. But we'll come back in an hour and I'll show you exactly how it's going. Now if you are enjoying this video, please think about subscribing to the channel. It really means a lot to me. I really appreciate it. Also, when I was doing my research on the Ninja Woodfire, there doesn't seem to be a huge amount out there. And some of them, to be quite honest, are a bit dodgy in terms of what they're telling you. So I'm going to start doing some videos on using the wood fire. If there's anything that you in particular would like to see me cook, please leave that down in the description. Right, now let's leave this for an hour and I'll come back soon. So at the hour mark now, internal temperature's reading 157, and I'm just going to have a look at the bruschetta, see how it's doing, see when I need to spritz it. This has just got water in it, nothing else. Got loads of flavour in the beef and the rub that we put on there, so don't really need to add anything. So I've just got a little bit of water. But let's open this up and have a look. Oh, look at that, you can get some beautiful colour on here. That bark is really starting to form nicely. Look in here though, it's starting to catch a little bit here. You can feel it's getting a little bit tight. So let's spritz that part. So just a little bit of water and that back edge as well. just cools down the actual surface of the meat, so this will take longer to catch back up while the rest of this carries on cooking. But this is looking really nice. So let's shut this down and allow it to go on cooking. On the hour mark, I also like to have a look at the pellets. They're smoking really nicely, still a fair bit in there, so I'm just going to add a few more to it and just let that carry on rocking. Looking good though. Oh yeah, look at that. So you can see that bark is really nicely set. It's got beautiful colour on it, and you can see here, see that colour there, that means all that fat starting around. I mean, look how juicy that is, and if I push that a bit, you see that beautiful colour in there, which is exactly what it meant. It means that fat's rendering beautifully. If I temp it a couple of places, so that's 179 there, 172 there, and about 173 there. So that's pretty much where I want it. I'm quite happy. The bark looks really good, and it's more or less in about the 175 range, so that's absolutely fine. So now I'm going to show you how to wrap it. So before I even get the Brisquetta out, I just want to get everything ready. So by taking it out of the Ninja and then putting it straight in here, wrapping it quickly and put it up, you minimise the amount of heat you lose, and therefore you're not extending the length of the cook. So what I want to do is get my unwaxed butcher's paper, and again, just coming battered by water, again nothing in it, just giving it a good spray down, kind of like makes this paper a lot more malleable, makes it a lot easier to fold and bend, and just makes life a lot easier. Now this is some smoked tallow. When I do my previous offset cooks and what have you, any kind of like tallow that I've got that left over, I then put in the fridge and just keep that. If you haven't got it, you can just use ghee. That adds like a really beautiful flavour as well. We'll just add some of the fat back, and also just adds some really beautiful flavour back in there. Okay, so I'm going to move that tallow down a little bit, because that's where I'm going to put my Brisquetta, and then we're going to fold it up and put it straight back in. So let me quickly grab it. Beautiful. I mean, look at that, it's already starting to get jiggly. So fold it over the front part first, then the sides, just give it a little bit of a crease. So if I like when you're wrapping a present, by folding it, just makes life a little bit easier. Bring that back in, and that's it. Now with the paper, try and fold the edges round so you've got a nice tight parcel. The reason for doing that is that if you had loads of gaps and all the rest of it, you're basically encouraging steam, which is going to basically reduce the bark that you've got on this. But that looks really good. I'm just going to put that back on the Ninja. Now I'm going to put the probe roughly where it was before. Okay, close this down. Now because we're not going to really get any more smoke on this, I'm actually just going to bump the temperature up. So I'm going to put the temperature up to about 120. So this should be around the 250 mark, but we know from running this actually it's a lot hotter, so it can be around about 300 mark. And what we're looking for it to do now is just get up to around 200, 205, and then I will start probing it. And I can't bring you back then when it's at that stage and show you what to look for. So my firm signals is telling me that the temperature now is about 205. The wind is picking up even more, but so what?
God, it's lovely out.
But I'm going to open it up now. I'm going to probe it with my digital perm pen, and then we'll see exactly where we are. So I try to use the same holes that you've used before, just so you don't keep puncturing it. But look, it's showing it's 208 there, but more importantly, so it's really nice and tender. Got it going in and out, no effort whatsoever. So this is done now. So what I'm going to do is take this off. I'm going to leave it on the counter, and I'm just going to let it rest. I want this temperature to come down to about 150. I'm going to leave this probe in, because then it's going to tell me when it roughly hits that sort of temperature. Then it'll be ready to come back, unwrap it, slice it, and enjoy. So this is rested down now. It's about 160. I could leave it a little bit longer, but to be honest, I can't wait any longer. Smells amazing. Let's open this up, see how we did. Oh, look at that. Now look at that bark, that beautiful dark bark. Look, when I'm squidging it out, the juices are coming out. Oh, look at that, how soft that is. This looks amazing. Right, take this out. Now all those juices, I'm going to save those. I'm not going to chuck them away, but I'm also not going to chuck them on top of this. Look how soft this is. I mean, look at that. It's so beautiful and tender. Now if you remember the way that this kind of went that way, I need to cut across the grain. So firstly, I'm going to cut it in half, and that cuts like butter. I mean, look at that. Okay, I'm not one for squeezing meat, but you can see all them juices rolling out. Haven't got the biggest smoke ring, but you can see that fat on top is all beautiful and rendered down. That is gorgeous. Right, put one bit there. Remember, coat it so it doesn't oxidize, stays all nice. Put that bit over there, and it's time to slice this. Oh, look at that. Now, this is a brisket. I'll give it a pull test, but I don't see any reason why we can't pull that as well. I mean, look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. Okay, so let's give this a go. That is beautiful. We've got a beautiful seasoning all over that, giving it a really gorgeous flavour. The smoke is subtle, but really nice. But the real star of the show is that brisquetta. It's got a really beautiful deep beef flavour. The actual fat on it as well. Just melt. That is perfect. Now, if you want to know how I smoke this on my offset, I'll leave a link to the video up above. But don't forget, in the comments down below, put exactly what it is you want to see me cook on this Ninja. But until the next video, take care of yourself, and I'll see you real soon.
Like a drug that I just can't deny, giving me the best high.